Hi everybody, so here's my last post for the semester and actually my last post ever in the master's program. So I'm pretty pumped to be recording this and then hopefully getting my degree here in the next several weeks. So the two trends that related to the future that resonated with me the most in Zhang's chapter 17 were the associative thinking, and it's thinking outside of the box of what is normally what is the norm. New opportunities are waiting to be discovered, and the person that was referenced in this was Steve Jobs. So one of the things that it made me think of was there seems to be a younger new generation coming into higher education, and a lot of what I see and what I've dealt with before is you're going up against people that have been in the profession for 20 or 30 years that have been doing it the same way, and it may be working right, but there may be better, more innovative ways to do that. And so I think that was one of the things that resonated with me is I feel like I'm in that generation where we're up and coming and saying, hey, there are other ways to do this, and it's just as effective and maybe even more effective too. The other is graduate prep programs. So having graduate programs that prepare students more for how it's actually going to be. And I think that is huge because I think a lot of people leave their graduate programs and enter the workforce and then have this ugly realization that it's not what they were taught in school. I have a lot of friends that graduated with their masters in very specific areas, and when they went to start their job, I remember having conversations with them, and they're like, "This is nothing like we were taught in school," and it was very frustrating for them to have to go through that, and it also is kind of hard for me to watch too. But then it made me appreciate my master's degree that I'm working on as well. In Taub and McEwen, it's comparing findings to your own journey. The two things that or the one big one that I found was the decision to enter the field is not well understood. I 1000% agree with that. I think people that go into higher ed don't actually mean to go into higher ed unless they have mom and dads that are in higher education or maybe an older sibling. I don't think that you're in your undergraduate and you're like, man, I want to be a student affairs professional one day. I think you kind of stumble into that, and that's what I actually did. And then you learn that there's this huge side of college and athletics and everything else that is kind of awesome and you can be a part of too. So the other is the study is 12 years old. In what way do you think it would be different if conducted today? There are a couple of things in there that talked about why students are entering the field and based on race and gender. And I feel like 12 years ago, there probably wasn't a lot known about that. But I think now there has to be more data understanding what is influencing the decision to enter the field. Why people go to school, what age groups are more attending college, graduate level, and why they're doing it. And then the third, NASPA's article of the impact of technology. I think technology has I think it's almost changed the face of what education looks like. Not even higher education, but overall education. High schoolers, middle schoolers, even elementary school. I think it's had a huge impact. And one of the ways that we can embrace it is through networking. One of the things that a lot of my students I see is they don't network and they don't know how to network. They know how to get on social media, they know how to do it that way, but they don't truly know how to use technology to network. And even as professionals, we can use it too. One of the things that I caution about using technology is the compatibility. A lot of students get so used to using technology to communicate and learn, and then they forget how to put it down sometimes and have face-to-face conversations or be able to sit in a lecture-style class. Because the unfortunate, I think, well, not even unfortunate, I think the reality is that lecture-style classes are not going away. I don't think they'll ever go away. It's been like that since the beginning of higher education. And so we're pushing this technology on students to use, but then also not teaching them, here's the line, you use technology in this instance, and this is how you get by without using it too. So I think that's my caution for it. So that is my response for the week. Thanks.